Going to grab the tractor, we're going to go up to quarantine here, we're going to grab the stocks that are up there. Has a lot of work to do.
But now her whole back end looks like it's bad now. Like the whole back end like sways.
His name is Ruger. What happened is he was hit by a truck.
The doc believes to be a cancerous tumor growing on the eye. So the only way to try to stop that is to take the whole eye out.
So we are about to shave down Oak because he still has a lot of his winter coat left. Instead of deciding to come off, it has matted to his skin.
This chain is way too tight, and you are probably gonna have to cut this chain off this dog's neck.
What? No! Are you serious?
How's it going?
It's going good. It's really nice to kind of jump in and get back into the flow of things.
Yeah, so you just graduated, right?
Yes.
All right, awesome. So you're here full time now?
I'm here full time now.
That's great. And you're going to be very helpful for Jenna.
Yes.
Morning, Ellen.
Good morning, how are you?
Keith. I'm doing good. What are you doing here today?
I'm applying for the outdoor foreman job. So I'm just going to follow you around today and see what you got me to do.
And we got a couple things to do today. We're gonna grab the tractor. We're gonna go up to quarantine here. We're gonna grab the stocks that are up there. They ordered it's called a draft stock, and we're actually going to put that together today, but we're going to bring it down here since we got the drafts down here and they're working a lot of the drafts and stuff down here. We're going to put it together here, and if we like this one, we're going to get another one for up there. So we'll have two sets of the draft stocks.
Sounds easy enough.
And then we've got weed eating to do today, and then if all else fails and we run out of things, we have the vet barn.
The vet barn.
That has a lot of work to do. We are going to unpack the draft stocks, and we might or might not look at the instructions and put it together. All right. Luckily, they have drawings on the stocks. They have numbers on each piece of lumber.
Oh, wow.
So they made our job easy.
Nice.
They didn't send directions.
Oh, okay.
There's no directions. There's supposed to be a video online, but who wants to look at a video? Oh, look at that. It fit right in. I don't know what your problem was. I'm prepared for all kinds of situations.
Situations?
Oh, yeah. I might be old, but I'm good. Oh, I think we got it done in about a little over an hour. So, not too bad. No complications, no. Just wearing out batteries left and right, but other than that, hey, we're good.
Today, we just got here, we're waiting on Corey and Jenna. I think they're chasing horses somewhere, which is, well, I think I'm off the horse chasing team, but we got to do several evaluations today. We have some new intakes. We have some more horses we want to reevaluate. And then we have to do a little surgery today. I think we're supposed to take the eye out of one horse. they'll have something else fun to do too, so we're just ready to rock and roll.
But now her whole back end looks like neurologic, like EPM. Like, it's bad now. Like, the whole back end, like, sways and, like, turns, and both legs. Like, Sailor just walked her right here, and she was, like drunk walking.
And she looks like she's lost weight. And I peeked at her a while ago. I didn't watch her walk, but I peeked at her, and she's going, I was pretty sure it was the right leg that was kicking out the other day, and the left leg looked funny just looking at it.
Yeah, and, like, it was just a weird walk.
Pretty sure it was the right one the other day. It is. It's both of them.
I think the worry too is someone trying, because you said that this started when like somebody rode her, right? Yes. And so like she was fine, and then I mean, what if they go down on the back end too?
Yeah, that's probably not a good thing.
So this one has aggression issues, but she also is foundered, but if she walks, her back right toe drags. She's the one that bit the snot out of Keaton.
Was he doing anything?
Petting her. She was loving on him and then bit him. But now the biggest worry is that like, she's super foundered, you can't ride her. And if you can get her to walk off.
Did we taking x-rays on her?
I think we did in the very beginning, like when she came in December, January.
I don't like that aggression, man. I just don't.
It's out of, yeah. But now, like I said, when she walks, she drags that back right toe, so. And she is super, super foundered. So and yesterday her back legs, like the swelling was completely down. Now it's back up. She's super sweet though. We need to rewrap her leg.
Where did that scrape come from? I'd say that was injured and bruised and just sort of popped up after.
It's just so swollen.
Yeah. Probably need to start exercising her some. We just put Furicin on.
That's what we've been doing. And that part's like, just with that knee so big, I mean, am I gonna have to just wrap it over the knee too?
Let me listen to her heart. I think she's okay.
Just need some exercise.
Yeah, let's start trying to exercise some, maybe get some of that swelling out. If they see swelling, sometimes it's because they have heart problems. Of course, you can't hear every heart problem, but that would cause them to build up fluid. I think she just got injured and it just wasn't showing up for a few days and just took a few days to abscess out. So I think that's where we are.
He is still painful. He's just been so like dull. He like doesn't move out in his pants.
That knee?
Huh?
That knee ain't right.
The hip ain't right either. The hip drops.
Lead him forward.
I don't know. What do you think, Doc, on him?
I don't think he's not going to get any better with that.
Yes, I agree on him. He's not living a happy life right now.
He's not happy and there's no fixing him.
So we are about to do an enucleation or an eye removal on this big paint who has what Doc believes to be a cancerous tumor growing on the eye. So the only way to try to stop that is to take the whole eye out.
Where do you want to do this at, Doc?
I guess we can do it right here. We can lay him down.
Okay.
Hey, just out there would be great, Corey. That'd be a little bit softer. Okay, let's hit one more vein, buddy.
Are you numbing the eye?
Yes.
Lidocaine?
Lidocaine and epinephrine.
What's the epi do?
It sort of stops the bleeding and it sort of constricts the blood vessels to where it'll hold the lidocaine in place more.
Did you do that to tack it open?
Yeah, I'll just get my trusty assistants here to hold this. So you gotta have a raw edge to sew together.
I'm so sorry for the loss.
So are you sewing the eye shut?
We're sewing it shut, buddy.
I've never seen eye removal, and I'm just gonna sit here for a minute and wait to stand up.
Okay, so I feel like I don't do eyes, but I'm the only one who's not woozy on like this side over here at all.
Fine. I'm good. I'm good.
I've seen a lot
Sailor's
of eyes come out,
good.
I've seen eyes be hanging out, so we can do this.
Well, it's good that our vet tech can do
Can handle the blood, yeah.
That does make things convenient.
All right, I'm sanding it.
You're good?
Yeah,
Are you okay?
I'm good.
No, because you look like
We
you're
just
doing
lost
okay,
Corey.
okay. Corey's gone. He's heading up.
We got next up. It's just like a football team, it's next up. Hey, you know how you judge where you got the eyeball out good or not? is if you get a whole eyeball. We didn't bust it.
Oh, okay.
We got the whole eyeball, so we're good.
I think it went pretty good.
Sorry, I made him go back down.
What are you checking for now?
She's just gonna look at his teeth.
Okay.
Where'd that speculum go?
I'm slave driving.
It's laid over there on the...
Corey, can you grab the speculum?
Hey, they don't look bad.
You look very serious, Isabel.
Yes.
Have you ever seen an eye removal before?
No, definitely not. So, this is the first for me. And I thought I was doing fine. And then I was just like, I'm suddenly really woozy. So I'm going to sit down.
You're sitting in the chair.
Yeah. But I'm still filming.
It looked like when we got in there that the procedure went real good. I did not notice any other cancer on the surrounding tissues, just on the eyeball, and we tried to rinse it good. Unfortunately, some of the cancer cells were just flaking off, and I didn't want them to get in there, so we tried to rinse it good, and we left it bleeding a little bit, but he's just sort of, I hate to say it like this, but as a rinse cycle, but he's not bleeding much. We did pretty good controlling the bleeding, looks like. So funny odd thing about doing an eye, you have to take out, you just have to give him a lot of tranquilizer to get an eye out of a horse. He had enough to castrate 2 horses about his size, but he came up, so we're pretty happy with the way it went. Okay, we're looking at this horse right here, and we were worried about her having a staph infection, chronic staph infection, chronic skin thing, but I really think, I know she's not great, but she looks better, and she's taking nutrition. Pretty sure she's got a skin infection and maybe some deep-seated staph, so we're gonna hit her with this for about 5 days running, hopefully, and go with that.
All right.
It's a great antibiotic, but the bad thing about this horse is you need to give it once a day IV. And the thing is with horses, it usually wipes out their intestinal tract, so you got to keep them on probiotics first, and then maybe a couple of days rest.
It just stands in there all day.
That's a miserable life.
Yeah. So this one is absolutely emaciated. If you look at her, you can actually see her spine dip down here. And you can actually see in her hip socket it popping in and out as it walks. And this week she has really just stayed in this barn. She doesn't try to socialize with anybody. She doesn't try to really go eat. She just is really uncomfortable and in a lot of pain. She's blind in this eye too, and it's just a really sad quality of life. Another case of an owner not doing the right thing.
We've just got done. We have one more horse to reevaluate, but we had 4 that we had to do the last act of kindness today. Most of their problems were bone and joint related, just sort of broken down, and they had a bad eye too, and it was, but the hip problems, I think all 3 of the last ones had hip problems that they just were not gonna recover from. We also removed the eye. It looked like cancer eye that was not around. It hadn't gone to the eyelid yet, did not look or feel like it had gone into the bone, so I think we did pretty good getting it out as soon as possible. If you ever see a horse that you think's cancer eye, or your vet think do something about it, it is just gonna get worse. We looked at one that we thought had a bad case of staph and skin infection, and we've started her on continued the antibiotics, probably switch her to orals the next round.
But she looks a lot better. She was one that we were really worried about, and she's living her life out there. She's enjoying it, so she's doing good.
She's able to motivate and take nutrition, so we're going to give her another chance.
These are really good. Anybody have any idea who donated these?
James donated those.
What's that?
James donated those.
Oh, that's awesome. He's a insanely awesome human, isn't he?
So I did want to go over a little bit about this week. We do have a lot of surrenders. So sometimes on our episodes you will see people showing up with horses that they've had that they're surrendering to us. So we are open admission shelter, so we do take all animals that are surrendered. A little bit about the process is you reach out to us, you let us know kind of what's going on, and then I schedule that. But I will say that over the past 2 weeks, we have had more, like this week, I had 8 different people reach out for surrenders that have 2 to 3, all the way up to 6 animals that they need to surrender. So I did want everybody to know that there is an option where, you know, if things are starting to, you know, you feel like you're financially drowning and you feel like, you know, you need some assistance, you need some help, definitely reach out to us because we are an open admission shelter. We do take surrenders. So, you know, that would be coming, you giving us ownership of the horses. Letting us know a little bit about the horses, like, hey, this horse rides, he's great, this horse is unhandled, just a pasture pet, just anything about like that. And then our intake team can get the horses in, and then hopefully we can get them adopted out to another home and everything. So we surrenders are really important to us as well.
So we have an owner surrender here today. There he is. His name is Ruger. We're gonna get him unloaded and see how he does. So his name is Ruger. He's 10 years old about. He's a Tennessee walking horse. So what happened is he was hit by a truck, and they said after that his hip in the rear just wasn't really working the way it should. But they also said that he'd probably fine for a kid or a light rider. But we're gonna get him evaluated in a couple days after we have the vet look at him, and then we'll go from there. So we're heading up to quarantine. We've got a couple owner surrenders from a covert auction over the weekend. I think Jenna will keep us alive, but I guess we'll find out.
So I'm gonna let our horse trainer give the mini pony his antibiotics because he likes to throw temper tantrums and he flips over. The pony's really spicy. I think he is a pony that was never trained properly. And even though they are little, they can still be dangerous. And so train your ponies.
Pick up feet. Kinda. He says kinda.
Hey, so it looks like the surrenders are coming in right now.
So we just got the surrenders unloaded. Unfortunately, they do look like they are in pretty critical condition. Luckily, the person that brought them to us, they did give pain medications beforehand. But we have one with a really bad knee that she's struggling to walk, and it looks like it had some previous damage to it. And then we have one that is really blind. He appears to be newly blind, just about how he doesn't seem quite sure about how he's walking or moving. And he has severe DSLD in the back, so his fetlocks in the rear are almost touching the ground, and that is also really extremely painful for him. So we're gonna get them settled in for the night, and then Doc will be here tomorrow to evaluate.
This is Jukebox. Some of you may remember him from last year. I remember the day he came in very well. Everybody fell in love with him here. He's such a beautiful boy, obviously. A really sweet family adopted him last November. I actually wasn't here for his adoption, but everybody rant and raved about these adopters and how sweet and kind they were. And we knew that Jukebox was going to be spoiled rotten. Well, today he had to be surrendered back. He was having some issues with some of the other horses at their barn. They spent a lot of time and money on him, getting trainers and trying to fix the issue, but It was really sad and emotional for all of us because they didn't want to surrender him back. He's their baby, and they spent a lot of time and effort trying to make him comfortable, but to no avail. They thought it best that he come back here. So there is a very good possibility that he is proud cut, but we're not sure. Just with some of the behavioral issues and problems that he's encountered, especially with mares, we are a little concerned that maybe he is proud cut.
So Doc is here. He's got a couple Coggins to pull and a few health checks, and I think we got some stuff we got to do in quarantine today too. So this is Ruger. Ruger is a horse that was surrendered to us yesterday. He was hit by a truck a few years ago, so they said that they can't really use him for much besides kid riding or light riding. He's also got this weird growth on his ear. When I first saw it, I thought it was earwax, but that's actually growing out of his ear. But it's just kind of hanging there. I'm sure it could be removed, but I think she said they cut it off once and it grew back. You sound good?
Yes, he does. I think Ruger's good.
Sounds good to me.
They need him after affordable.
Jukebox. I think last time you looked at him, you said that he had some mild arthritis, but it shouldn't affect anything on him.
He just looks good. He's an impressive horse. That's a real horse there.
So we are getting ready to sedate and anesthetize Callista. Doc is sharpening his instruments, and we're going to be working on her leg injury today, taking off extra tissue.
Are we going to where?
Quarantine.
Okay.
We're going to call it the Q because that doesn't sound as toxic.
Oh, I see.
It's
We're gonna
foreboding.
The Q, huh?
The Q.
This is Nemo. He had some really bad hooves. We had Quint take a look at him. He thinks he's possibly foundered, but also probably really severe white line disease. His hoof's pretty hollow. And this weekend we were coming out here medicating other horses. We noticed that he was extremely painful walking, so he's been on pain meds. But he's just dropping weight, not wanting to eat because he doesn't want to walk in his stall.
Man, all that's... Yeah, we can get an x-ray on that. Sometime.
It feels like it, huh?
Yeah. It looks like it's between the joint and that whole side over there. She's got some chronic lung problems, a chronic sinus infection. Just not going to get better. And she's over 20, and I don't think her immune system can fight it off. We've given her some great antibiotics, and she's just not coming out. Yeah, we trimmed off. We had a little bit too much proud flesh, and we trimmed it back some. There are no nerves in there, but since there was a skin flap there, I thought it had nerves. And to do a good job and wrap it, we tranquilized her, trimmed the proud flesh off, and put a wonder dust on it to try to absorb the toxin. And then we had, unfortunately, do the last act of kindness for several. We had older horses. Some of them, one of them had an old broken carpus, and we had one that had a terrible sinus infection. We tried several antibiotics, but she just wasn't getting better. Then we had one that was blind and had DS, where the deep digital suspensory ligament gives way in their hock. Tomorrow it's donkey wars. We're going to try to do
Round two.
Round two. We're going to try to get a lot of blood on donkeys for Coggins and intake.
So Delente hates his back foot being done the most. So this is really where the safety measures come into play for us. And he's gonna fight it, and then hopefully he'll figure it out and stand still for us. But this is a whole lot safer because before he was trying to take Corey out. So at least this is a lot safer for everybody involved, including Delente.
Oh, more. There we go.
So this is when we say thank you, supporters, for literally saving our lives. And also now we can much more thoroughly get in that foot safely. The best part is though, not only is this gonna help Delente, but it's gonna help every draft we get from here on out. Because our farriers will now shoe and trim their feet in these as well. So if any supporters wanna send us some Gorilla Tape, it would be very much appreciated. Because that's what we are putting on top of his feet. The duct tape does not hold up. The Gorilla Tape holds up wonderfully. So if anyone's looking for something to help Delente's journey, Gorilla Tape is what we need.
These are his boots that we put on his front feet so when he's walking on the rocks, he's not sore. And so they help him because if he don't have them, he'll just kind of limp a little. And we don't want him being sore on his feet. So these help with protecting the bottom since they actually just got his feet trimmed too. And so he walks perfectly fine with them. And then we can start taking them off whenever he's fully healed from being sore. He's a good boy. We are about to ride them in the arena. The owners that surrendered this boy said that he gets spooky and will bolt when a horse comes up behind him. And so we have been working with him on that. And he may hit a jump or two, we don't know yet. We're gonna see what he wants to do. Got my helmet.
Poor buddy.
He made me think that I didn't have a helmet on, and I was like, he's a good boy. We are going to practice jumping and see if he remembers his old job. Okay, so the blue part is to help them with their strides about coming up to jumps. And so that's what we use that for. It went great. He jumped great. He is having fun. He's not doing anything wrong. We've had the other horse coming up behind us. He never took off bucking, bolting, nothing bad. So he is being perfect.
Well, we got intake going on some horses that were brought in yesterday and donkeys. And these are pretty nice donkeys. We got Pookie and he looks like he's got a little separation anxiety from Pookie. I think if I was a boy donkey, I'd have separation anxiety for Pookie too. She is pretty. I just got some blood to do a Coggins test, equine infectious anemia. As soon as I get the blood, I give it to my trusty technician because she don't trust me with it for some reason.
They said this is copper.
You see that?
I saw that. I did not like it.
I didn't like it either.
This is an untrained 2.5-year-old quarter pony.
Apparently, speed makes a difference.
Yeah, it does.
He was brought in as an owner surrender yesterday with 5 other animals. So we're doing the initial evaluation, but so far looks like about a 14-year-old spotted saddle horse pony. But yeah, healthy, not underweight, a little chunky.
Let's do this. We're gonna need a dog. They took in a dog yesterday. I guess that's the plus part of Horse Plus. We take in more than just horses and donkeys. So they took in a dog yesterday, and we're gonna vaccinate it for distemper, hepatitis, parainfluenza, parvo, and corona, and rabies, and we're gonna test it for heartworms. We're gonna do the 4DX test for Lyme disease, Ehrlichia canis, and anaplasmosis. Those are tick diseases, and heartworms. So we're gonna do a little testing, and we're gonna get him vaccinated and set up.
This chain is way too tight, and you are probably gonna have to cut this chain off this dog's neck.
So why would I want it?
Drontal for intestinal parasites, just in case he has them, to get rid of those.
Doc, did you just take a nap?
I was gonna try.
This is Callista. This is the one that Doc yesterday took the flap of skin off and debrided the proud flesh, so Doc is rechecking it today.
Hey, it looks pretty good. I want it rewrapped, but we could let air hit it for a little while and then wrap it if you want to. Cold hose it for about 10 or 15 minutes, air dry, and then rewrap it.
So we got done in the 10 stall doing intake on all the owner surrenders, and now we are going to be headed up to quarantine to do some Coggins and some castrations. So Corey went up to quarantine and left the entire medical team down here. So now he came back. Hey, do you want the medical team?
No. No.
Good job, baby. She wasn't like, I plan on you looking at her today. She wasn't like, the respirations weren't that.
Oh, we need some heavy duty antibiotics if we've got a chance. I can hear lung sounds without a stethoscope.
Whatever is going to actually give her the best chance we can do.
Basil's probably less damage.
I can get you a halter that fits you, huh? So this just slips right off, doesn't it? Hopefully those meds and getting some water will help her. And maybe keeping the flies off.
So a little Applejack, a little blind pony is pretty dehydrated. I think a mixture of it being hot and just her being in new surroundings. So we're getting her in a stall with lots of water options, and then we are hooking up IV fluids so that way we can get her hydrated as quick as possible.
Oh man.
Yeah.
She's so dehydrated, we're having a hard time finding the vein. We're gonna look further north. I want to count that as a win.
Okay. Wait, okay. I'm gonna take some.
And what's that, Doc?
Super glue.
Oh, what for?
Hold it in place.
Can you grab a roll of that wrap, and we'll vet wrap this line up because the line's heavy on the needle.
Yeah, it's already pulled and it's blowing already.
Seriously?
Pulled. Yep.
The fluid line is pretty heavy on the catheter, and so it bent the catheter before we could vet wrap and secure it, and it blew the vein. And so we are placing one on the other side and very carefully wrapping it so that does not happen again, so that way we can get her these IV fluids going.
Corey, what are you doing?
I'm getting this fan set up on this horse that we just put fluids on so it can hopefully cool down a little bit. It's pretty warm out. It's about 85 right now.
Got it.
She's still got a lot of her winter coat too, so she's overheating.
We're going to give her a big blast of fluid. She's pretty dehydrated. She's blind. We're thinking she can't find the water. So we're going to put her in a smaller, more confined environment, and we're going to give her some fluids.
Hey, do we want to echo spot her?
And we've given her some antibiotics IV to try to get things to work faster because we think she's got a little shipping cold. So we just got to see how that works. We've got to do that. We're giving her Baytril. We've got to do that every day for 5 days and see what our results are. So we're trying to get him tranquilized. Hey, that's a good thing about, I usually don't like these tubes, but the new ones are plastics. You can slam them and drop them. And then we're going to try to pull some blood from him while he's out for a Coggins. And so far, this young man has lost more blood from the Coggins blood draw than from his surgery, so maybe he'll do good.
I am doing this so he can't see Doc coming up to get that needle in his neck, and maybe it'll help him relax a little bit more.
Apparently I'm scary today. Just today? Oh, that didn't work. Iodine. Oh. I hope it kills bacteria. It makes me feel better probably more than anything else. It's just an old habit.
What is that? Katron. That helps keep all the flies out.
Do you want to try to just spot him up real quick? Yeah. If you can, because he's got to get Coggins still. So Katron IV is what we can put on open wounds like castrations to keep out flies, maggots, because the castration, it stays open, so it's an open wound, so we want to make sure no flies get up in there. We had some really nice donors send us EquiSpot off of our wish list, which is a fly repellent that lasts up to 2 weeks. So on these guys that, on a lot of them, but especially the ones that we can't handle as much yet, it's really good if we have them knocked out like this to be able to put that on them, so that way they have more relief from the bugs.
Last little drops.
Are you ready for the meanest one of them all?
Yeah, which one? Not that one?
Yeah, he's super aggressive.
Is that, does he get neutered?
I'm joking. You are castrating him. He's really sweet.
Oh, here, we'll do it.
He's a good boy.
It's gone pretty good. Castrating untouched by human donkeys is always fun, or at least exciting. And when you get through, you say, okay, I still got 10 fingers and I am not bleeding anywhere, so it's a win. And they all look good. Nobody's bleeding excessively. Recently neutered males that cannot handle their drugs good. So, well, we started the first battle in donkey wars. We neutered 3 donkeys and a pony. I think they were pretty much untouched by human hands, but everything went well. They looked like they were recovering nicely, and no one or no animals were hurt in the production of this film, other than their feelings. Head intake, did recheck on our little surgery yesterday. I was pretty happy with the way that looks.
And our blind pony was really dehydrated.
We started fluids on it and stepped up the antibiotics. Unfortunately, we got to go to Baytril, which has to be given once a day.
The pony went through 3 bags of IV fluids, has a fan on her, has soaked food so she doesn't get hay right now, and we'll come check on her after lunch.
So we are about to shave down Oak because he still has a lot of his winter coat left, and it has, unfortunately, instead of deciding to come off, it has matted to his skin. So we are hoping that if we clip it off, it'll make him feel a lot better during the summer since it is getting a lot hotter. So we just got done shaving Oak, and we're going to rinse him off and give him a bath to make sure all the excess hair and stuff is off of him, so that way when he scratches himself, he doesn't have to feel all that extra hair on him. He's been very tolerant through this entire process.
He has been. He's been good.
It went really well. He stood very patiently for it. Towards the end, he did get a little bit tired of all of us dealing with him, but overall he did good.
Hi, Keith.
Howdy.
What are you up to?
Doing the feeding today.
All right. Why are you doing the feeding?
Corey's off doing classes today.
Got it. Yeah, there's not a lot of people here today, huh?
Well, not a lot of people here today, so we're filling in where that's needed, so.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Luckily I've done it before, so.
This is Callista. She is out here because she is getting round pen time for her leg. We have been keeping her in the stall and letting her come out here to play around, roll, whatever she wants to do, because she injured herself a while ago and now she is getting better. We just cut some proud flesh off. So now it's time for her to get out here, exercise, move her legs. She's doing a whole lot better, and then we're gonna wrap her leg. Do you want to ride? It looks amazing compared to the last time. It's scubbing over great. She's not bleeding anymore. So it's getting really good now. We actually just put Callista back in her stall from her round pen time. And now we're going to be catching the donkeys, Jack and Pookie, and doing an evaluation on them. Hi, honey. Hi.
You're doing great.
Thanks.
Jack, where are we?
Come on, Pookie. Oh, what are you doing? What are we doing?
Do we pick up our feetsies?
That's a good question. Yep.
We do! So cute.
Did we just say that at the same time?
Yeah, it was weird. The whole thing was very twinning. Like, it was weird.
This is Pookie.
And this is Jack. Pookie was real creative when she got her name. Jack just got put on the sidelines.
So are we gonna be a fan of this? Nope, okay. Come on. Just trying to give her a little encouragement, but it's not working. So.
Have you made any progress?
No. Have you?
No. Mm-hmm. Come on, Jack.
Come on, Pookie. You can easily walk through this. We have made progress.
Jack.
Good girl, Pookie.
Jack.
Pookie's the best.
Do you think their office broke?
Oh, heck yeah, they are.
Good. I like these thoughts.
Office broke instead of obstacle course broke?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Come on. Hey, she went through that. It's good enough. We are about to take them to the office. Let everybody see Pookie and Jack.
Since they are calm enough and they won't break anything.
Great.
Yeah. Come on, Jack.
These were donated apples.
Yeah. They're the best ones because they're donated.
The best things in life are free. Oh, you got my hair.
So they didn't want to go inside, which is perfectly fine if they've never been indoors before, which most things have not. So we brought everybody outside to see how they would do with people. They did amazing. They do not care and they're super sweet. They also love apples. So we are about to put them in the round pen while we go wrap a leg up in quarantine. They will have water since it's hot, and then we're going to put the fly spray on them because the flies are really bad.
What?
Applejack passed me.
No, are you serious?
When? Who saw her?
He's just found her.
I was feeding today and come up to quarantine to do the feeding up here, and went to open up Applejack's stall, and she was down and she had passed away sometime during the night. Very sad. But the rest of the horses seem to be doing just fine.
We're looking at some horses that came in yesterday. They're not available yet, but we're just looking at them to see if maybe they want to think about getting them later. That is, I'm still learning the names because they're brand new. Coco is his name. So we're gonna hopefully get him evaluated by the trainers later today and see how he does.
Don't tell the adoption team, but I added up all of our adoptions so far, and it looks like we're only 8 off from being at 200. So I'm trying to get a little surprise together for whenever we get 200.
7 off.
7. We just had another adoption.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
So I'm gonna try to get some papers together because I like to surprise them whenever we hit big adoption numbers and throw stuff at them confetti-wise.
Right. Awesome. So this is the one that just got adopted?
Yes.
Wow.
It's Coco. They came, they saw Boo, they saw Coco, they adopted Boo, and then they're like, we want Coco too.
Aww.
So it's such a sweet little family, and Coco is gonna have an amazing home.
Awesome.
So we are updating our numbers, and for all of the horses that we have helped this year in the United States and around the globe. This year, so far, we have helped 883 animals.
Wow.
Just this year so far through today, May. Just so amazing, and we're so thankful for all of our supporters because we couldn't do this without you.
So we are getting ready to open up all of our Amazon packages today. So we do it once a week, mainly on Wednesday, sometimes Thursday, in the afternoon around 3:30, 4-ish. And yeah, so I'm waiting on Angela, she's busy. She said she was gonna be in here in just a few minutes. So we gotta wait for her, and we'll get started and we'll go live here in just a minute.
All right. Hello.
Are you okay?
Are you ready?
We got Gorilla Tape, and so somebody's been watching the videos and paying attention because we needed Gorilla Tape.
But we also want to say a special thank you to those who sent the
Oh,
staff.
James, yes.
Nuts.
Thank you, James, for
Oh my
sending.
goodness.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
The last ones are pretty much gone. I just want to say.
Kind of how the supporter group works for those that don't know. I put on kind of behind the scenes kind of stuff. So maybe some funny moments, some of the critters that you may not get to see in the episode, they're most likely going to be on the supporter group. So I try to put out a video Monday through Wednesday. Oh, we have somebody come in. You want them to say hi? Shoot.
Oh, look what Corey went right for.
We need a lot of this stuff for the care for Delente, so the more of this you guys can send, the better. Yeah, we got him. It's probably going to be about 6 months of recovery time, so that is a lot of Gorilla Tape. Well, I got to get back to work. I got a lot to do, but I just want to see what you guys got.
All right, have fun. Bye. You can see you guys went above and beyond.
So thank you guys. See you next time.
Okay.